there seems to be a little bit of a social media tit for tat between possibly the Waleses and the Sussexes. Meghan launched her Instagram page, well, officially kind of on January the 1st, was it, when she was riding in the sand? And she's many videos in the last couple of weeks, particularly from Invictus. But William and Catherine seem to be doing a lot more. We saw this week the sketches that the princes, that are drawn and they put them on. We've seen videos of Catherine on a school bus. We've seen William with a social media influencer, a TikTok star just a couple of weeks ago. And on Valentine's Day, we had William and Catherine looking cosy for Valentine's a little heart, and then Harry and Meghan sharing a kiss on Meghan's Instagram page. Is there a subtle war going on between them online?
Well, you could put the kiss down to the fact they're 8 hours behind us in California, so they probably were going to do it anyway. It could be, but no, I think that's just it's flim-flam, really. I mean, social media. Look at it one day, it's gone the next, and that's how I feel about it, And the fact, George's drawings weren't very good. I didn't think he didn't look like he's going to have an art career in front of him anyway.
Well, they wouldn't tell us who had drawn what. We had to work it out ourselves.
There's one that's definitely much better than the others, which I suppose you'd assume is George because he's older, but it did sort of feel... I could imagine it being Charlotte. I don't know, you can't be certain, really, can you? But I think there's there was 100% definitely a massive rivalry between the Sussexes and the Waleses, dating back to when they were sharing a private office at Kensington Palace. And this sort of thing, you would absolutely cut and dry say 100% massive rivalry. They would want to be competing and outdoing each other. So there probably is a bit of that. I mean, it's hard to move past that. I'm sure that there is an instinct to want to outdo the other couple, whether it's the Waleses or the Sussexes. I also think with Meghan, perhaps there is like the pressure on her to make her project successful may mean that actually that is what's at the forefront of her mind, that actually she's fighting to get back into a space that she'd largely given up. And it's quite interesting that Instagram is her social media channel because most of her fans are on Twitter. That is the real core of where the Sussex squad operate. And Meghan hasn't chosen to make Twitter her space. She's chosen Instagram, which shows a slight bit of disconnect between her and her fan base. So
really interesting point, that actually. Sorry, carry on. But
no, I mean it is. She is trying to exist. Instagram is great for celebrities, and celebrities love it. It gives them a slightly more positive space in which they can just, their post is king. Like that is the key thing about Instagram. You post the picture, anybody who comments underneath it is subordinate to your original post. Whereas on Twitter, no one post has priority over another. Your entry into the discussion can be any post in a thread. You might come in at post number 27 because somebody you follow is throwing mud at Meghan. Whereas on Instagram, your entry is always the celebrity's post. So that's probably why she's done it. But it reflects the fact that she is now fighting to get into a very competitive space where all the influencers live, all the influencers are fighting for audience. And actually, she would be well advised to forget any competition with Kate and William because the people she's going to be competing in are the other celebrities who are all also trying to sell their products too. So that's going to be where the real competition lies for Meghan.
The debacle around this isn't going to help that. The debacle around the Mallorca coat of arms and this business in New York isn't going to help her credibility, I don't think.
I think the biggest unexploded bomb here for Meghan is this company in New York. The Spanish town is embarrassing. They're kind of saying it looks like Meghan's ripped off their logo. It's a bit awkward, but they're not trading on the American market. So there's no way that Spanish town, I don't think, can actually sink this rebrand. But this company in New York, if they file a legal challenge here and say, look, we are as ever, you're going to sink us, because, she, in Google search terms, she's going to blow them out of the water. They'll be buried. She's going to absolutely bury them on Google. And if they challenge it to try to protect their business and she is forced to change the name again, then that is disaster levels of catastrophe for her. Because you can rebrand once and people are like, oh, right, okay, this is a bit awkward. But if you rebrand twice, it just looks like it's going to look like a failure. And this is actually a window for her where she could finally launch something that is successful, that Americans want to buy. Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop is successful. People like it. It's niche, it's not probably for everybody, but people do regard it as a success. So it's an important moment for Meghan and one she'll want to get right. If this is now actually torpedoed by this New York fashion line, then she's in big,
You mentioned
big
about the New York fashion, or the New York shop, and we spoke to Mark Kolsky this week, and I think he posted that it was royally scandalous, the similarities between the names, but he's basically admitted that he's kind of powerless to do anything because Meghan's such a behemoth. It's got Netflix backing. But Arthur, were you excited about the release of Meghan's video, a 70-second clip announcing that her new project is called As Ever.
Didn't even watch it. I mean, that's how excited I was. Oh, I think this, she should do a bit of her homework before she does these things. I mean, she's already upset the small island of Mallorca by ripping off their mask, their sign, and then now the mayor's upset about that, and he's threatening to take some legal action. So, everything she's doing at the moment, she's doing it because she's not thought it through. As Jack said, she's not researched it. She's not decided if that's the right way to go. And certainly when you're naming it after other companies, that can't be that hard to find out.
Yeah.
Just go online and find out.
It's all been a bit of a mess. I mean, you pointed out that American Riviera Orchard, about a year ago, we had the announcement that was going to be the name.
Yes.
And then we had, I think last September, the patent and trademark offices raised some serious concerns about the name, but also the description of the products. But in that video that Arthur hasn't seen, but we unfortunately have had to watch several times, she almost paints that loss as a victory, where she says, well, I wanted to call it American Riviera Orchard, but because they said that we had to have things grown in a certain area, I actually want to go with As Ever, and she's moved on. She's got an amazing skill of kind of turning things round from a failure into saying, oh, well, actually, this is a success.
Which is potentially no bad thing as long as it is a success. That's the key thing. What happened with American Riviera Orchard was she launched it really early, too early, before it was ready, really. In an ideal world, you'd probably get all the patent copyright stuff done and sorted before you actually do the soft launch. That way, you don't then have to retract it if you run into problems. I think probably what happened was she was scared that people like us were going to find it and we're going to report on it early, and she wanted to be in control of how she released it. But it's so early to release something that's basically just telling people you're going to make jam, which, it's not exactly rocket science making jam. Jam tastes like jam. I'm sure it will be delicious jam. Most jam is. But to then have to wait a year and now we're on to our second soft launch and we still don't have any jam. How this jam now needs to be like the world's greatest ever jam. And unless all the other jam makers out there are missing something that Meghan's lighted on, it's just not going to live up to the really long wait for delivery. So she's saying now that we're probably going to get it in the spring. She's going to come up with something more. We're going to get probably the hard launch. So hopefully there'll be not just the jam, but a bunch of other things that people can actually buy, and she can move past this really awkward stage where she's trying to get it up and running, and actually she can then find out, apart from anything else, is this actually going to be a success, or is this going to be another project that gets launched, has a quick run, and then she has to move on and find something else?
Well, you mentioned that, and you look back through her CV. I mean, if you think Sussex Royal was up for a little bit of time, and then that was asked not to be used by the royal family. Archetypes had one series and then disappeared. The TIG that she's now, not using. Pearl, the show on Netflix, that Netflix didn't want to go ahead with that show,
Yep.
the cartoon show, the animated show. Working member of the royal family, that was something that wasn't successful for Meghan. I mean, there is a long list of failures that Meghan has on her CV.
The podcast on Spotify,
Yeah.
that was another failure, yeah. So, yeah, she's good at failure.
Welcome back to your go-to space for all things uplifting, inspiring and insightful about Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Today, we're diving into a topic that's been stirring up conversation, the so-called rivalry between Meghan Markle and the Princess of Wales, Catherine. While many media outlets frame this as a fierce battle, let's take a closer look at the truth. Instead of rivalry, could this actually be a story of two women navigating their own paths in vastly different circumstances? Meghan Markle and Catherine Middleton are two fascinating women who have become iconic figures in the modern era. They have captured the world's attention with their elegance, poise, and dedication to their roles within the British royal family. Both Meghan and Catherine are married into the British royal family, bringing their unique backgrounds and perspectives to the forefront. They navigate their unique roles with grace and a sense of duty, balancing public expectations with their personal lives. Social media buzzes with their every move as millions of followers eagerly keep up with their latest activities and engagements. Recently, Meghan has made a return to Instagram, a platform where she once shared her thoughts and passions with the world. This return has sparked global excitement, with fans and media outlets buzzing about her reappearance on social media. Catherine's online presence is also growing as she continues to share glimpses of her life and work with the public. She frequently shares her work with the Royal Foundation, highlighting important causes and initiatives close to her heart. Both Meghan and Catherine connect with people in new and meaningful ways, bridging the gap between royalty and the public. It's easy to compare women, especially when they are in the public eye. The media often does this, pitting them against each other. It's not fair and it oversimplifies their unique stories. Meghan and Catherine are different people with distinct personalities and life choices. They have different paths and aspirations. Meghan is building her brand, focusing on her own voice and identity. She is independent and strong, carving out her own space in the world. She connects with her audience through Instagram, sharing moments of her life and work. She shares her passions and projects, giving her followers a glimpse into her world. Meghan chose Instagram over Twitter. This was a strategic decision to align with her brand. Instagram allows for visual storytelling, which is a powerful tool for her. It's a better fit for her brand, enabling her to connect more deeply with her audience through images and videos. Through Instagram, Meghan can highlight her charitable work and personal projects, creating a narrative that resonates with her followers. Her approach is authentic and engaging, making her a relatable figure to many. By sharing her daily life and thoughts, Meghan builds a personal connection with her audience, making them feel involved in her journey. This strategy has helped her cultivate a loyal following who appreciate her openness and honesty. Meghan's use of Instagram is a testament to her understanding of modern media and her ability to adapt to it effectively. Meghan faces challenges. She handles them with grace. She is resilient. She is building a successful career. She is an entrepreneur. Catherine will be Queen Consort one day. She embraces her royal duties. She is a patron of many charities. She is a role model for many. Meghan and Catherine are not in competition. They are two remarkable women who have chosen different paths in life, each making their own unique mark on the world. They are on different journeys, yet both are driven by a shared commitment to service and philanthropy. Meghan, with her focus on social justice and women's rights, and Catherine, with her dedication to mental health and early childhood development. They are both strong women, using their voices to advocate for causes close to their hearts. Meghan speaks passionately about equality and empowerment, while Catherine champions the importance of mental well-being and family support. They're both making a difference in their own ways. Meghan's work with various charities and her role as a global ambassador highlight her commitment to change, while Catherine's hands-on approach in her patronages showcases her dedication to improving lives. They are both an inspiration to many, showing that there are multiple ways to lead and influence. Meghan's journey from actress to duchess to advocate is a testament to her resilience, and Catherine's steady presence in the royal family exemplifies grace and dedication. They show us that there are many ways to be a woman, each path valid and valuable. Meghan's modern approach and Catherine's traditional role both contribute to a broader understanding of womanhood. They show us that we can follow our own paths, embracing our unique strengths and passions. Whether it's through advocacy, charity, or personal endeavours, each of us can make a meaningful impact. They show us that we can make a difference in the world no matter where we come from or the roles we play. Their stories remind us that our contributions, big or small, matter.